Well, welcome to IPCPR 2018. I'm sitting down with Cyril Brizard from France, and he is coming here to show us the humidor that he created. Can you tell me a little bit about this humidor?
Well, this is called a Hacienda humidor. Many reasons for this humidor to be. Actually, I found that a lot of men, when they're going to cigar shops, they're looking at humidor and they're picking a yellow canary glossy humidor,
right,
and they have to send a picture of that humidor to their wives to get the approval to put it in their living room. And then the wife says, no, it doesn't match anything.
Right.
So nowadays, distressed furniture, weathered wooden furniture from all over the world, from Mexico, from Bali, from Indonesia, is very much a popular thing.
Right.
And so I decided to use black walnut from Illinois that's actually reclaimed wood. This wood is anywhere between 60 and 100 years old.
Wow.
It has a history. It comes from either old broken down government buildings, barns, old gas stations, and we recuperate all this wood that's been fully dried. The name of it is called Hacienda. It's reminiscent of the old colonial Mexican style mansions,
Right.
We got the cast iron that comes from Guadalajara. And what's really special about this humidor is the contrast that you have between the outside. It's very rustic, very organic, all natural, all hand polished and oiled, and the inside, which features the absolute state-of-the-art humidification system, which you guys have really come up with. We have created with this the 360-degree humidification system.
Nice.
So why don't we open it up here and show the inside of the Hacienda. So we call our humidor actually an airflow humidor. The reason why is because in most traditional humidors, you need to rotate the cigars, put the lower layered cigars to the upper layer. We have built this box with a system where you have latches. And the proper way to use it is to put a Boveda pack here, a Boveda pack here. This is a 60 to 70 cigars. And then on the top part, we have the holders here, which we have created to hold the Boveda packs. They're very low profile, half an inch thick. You just dump the Boveda pack in the back. And let me see how we can handle this together here. And then we put them back in here. They fit with a magnet system. Now you have two Boveda pack underneath the cigars, two Boveda pack on top. That gives you a 360-degree humidification.
Very nice.
I have become a big believer in the Boveda packs over the last year. The reason is many of my friends in the industry, cigar makers that I've worked with, that I've done limited edition with, are swearing by it, and they're all here.
Sure.
And it convinced me to use it for my humidors.
So the quality that we provide helps the quality that you're providing to the customer through the humidor.
Absolutely. It's all about the quality, and the quality is all about honoring actually the very hard work and labor that goes into making a cigar. It's a form of respect for these people that are working 60, 70 hours a week in very hot temperatures and are putting all their life and their passion to make cigars. There are so many hands that touch a cigar from the moment it gets cropped to the moment it gets assembled and aged, that to me, making an accessory of good quality is a form of honoring the very hard work that goes into making a cigar.
Well, that's appreciated, because if we don't have a good humidor to keep those cigars in, then we lose out. Right?
Absolutely. And a humidor has to fulfill its function. When a cigar is taken 7 years to age in proper condition, you don't want to put it in a box that's not going to be giving it its perfect environment. So we feel that this box is very heavy duty build. We have a lid here that's you can feel very heavy.
Right.
And once you have it fully seasoned with your actually seasoning pack, 84% seasoning pack, it works beautifully. And I can tell you, I have tried over the course of the last almost 20 years that I've been making accessories, every bit of form of humidification. Many years ago, I used the sponge like everybody else, and then move on to the gel beads, and from the gel beads, move on to the silicone beads.
Right.
But Boveda far surpasses every other form of humidification. And for every type of product that contains cigars, whether it's our humidors of different sizes, desktop humidors, cylindrical desktop humidors. We are fully embracing the Boveda brand and using it in all our products, and very happy to do so.
Wonderful. I appreciate that commitment to quality for the customers, really.
Absolutely.
So that's wonderful. Can you tell me a little bit about your first experience with a cigar? Was it good, bad?
My first experience with a cigar, well, when I was 18 years old, my best friend's father was smoking a box of Monte Cristo. He was a great industrial entrepreneur in France, nice. And his son was my best friend. And the one thing I can tell you is before I had the right to smoke a cigar, I got to smell him because I was always going to the country house or visiting my buddy.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying the aromas of the cigar. And it was Monte Cristos that he was smoking every single day. And he knew that I had an interest for business, knack for developing new products. My dream was already to come to America to start my business life.
Sure.
And after a year of smelling cigars and talking business with him, one day he offered me a cigar. And I knew how expensive they were. I knew what was the price of a Monte Cristo. And the day he offered me a cigar, I felt it was it was very honored. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You're offering me one of your big cigars to smoke.
Right.
And I felt very, very special. And especially after, a year of smelling the cigar and getting the aromas, it's almost something you smell and you wait for so long, and one day somebody gives you a cigar. And that was the very beginning.
So did you guys sit down and smoke that together? Or did he just give it to you and you felt honored?
No, we smoked it together after a good meal, of course. We were in a French country house 2 hours outside of Paris on a weekend.
Sure.
And I never asked for a cigar from him, but the day he offered me one, it was a great honor.
That's almost the best, right?
Absolutely.
You feel privileged that he gave that cigar to you without asking for it because he wanted to spend time with you.
Yeah, very privileged.
Yeah,
yes,
awesome.
yes.
Wonderful.
And that actually is something, they say that the oldest memories that you have are connected to smell.
Right.
Not to visual, not to sound, but to smell. That's something that some marketers now are understanding,
Yeah.
And the smell of cigar, since I was 18 years old, is something that always stayed in the back of my brain.
Sure.
And when I moved to America, I had different business adventures, usually always in the luxury business.
I was going to ask that. What did you do before this? Or what do you still do other than making humidors?
Well, when I came from France, I actually started bringing in all the miniatures of the luxury French brands, Van Cleef & Arpels, Oscar de la Renta, Christian Dior.
Sure.
And I created luxury leather kits for private jets and luxury cruise lines. And one day I was at a Miami boat show, and one of the guys that was in these big $150,000 a week cruise says to me, "You're making these beautiful kits for my amenities, but I travel with my cigars in a Ziploc bag. Is there any way you can make me a travel humidor?" So that was actually
let's upgrade you.
That was the middle of the boom, the 1998, 20 years ago. And I thought, a travel humidor, what an interesting idea. I never thought about a traveling humidor. So I created a travel humidor. I went to see a company that at that time was a small distributor that now became Altadis.
Yep.
The company was bought by Altadis. And I presented them my travel humidor, and they gave me such a huge order that I walked out did the happy dance, after I got that big order.
Nice.
And then that company got bought over, the accessories got discontinued, and it was the end of the boom. It was the end of the 90s. And at that time, I realized how much I love the people of the cigar industry, because I got to meet certain tobacconists, and I found out that most of these people had a different life before. They were firemen, they were businessmen, they were lawyers, they were doctors, and they got into this business not to become richer, but because of the passion for cigars and the love of the friendship that goes around the cigars, being able to sit all together and be one and having that common denominator. I always remember that guy in downtown Houston who has a little shop, and between 12:30 and 1:30 every day, it's in front of the courthouse. You have the cops, the criminals, and the judges, and they're all one for that 1 hour.
Right. Lunch break.
And an hour later, the criminals are going back to jail and everybody, but for 1 hour, they're all ones. So I really enjoyed meeting the tobacconists, and I decided at that time, although it was the end of the boom, to stay in the industry. In 2000, I designed a limited edition cigar case for Carlito Fuente. I did the Opus X case.
Sure.
And that is how my company got started again. And then this year, we designed a limited edition for St. Dupont, for Elie Bleu, for Padron, and for Rocky Patel.
Wow, you are a busy man.
We have actually brought to St. Dupont the first humidor. The president of St. Dupont wants to have that humidor actually on his desk in his office in Paris, and it's the first time that DuPont had a humidor with a Boveda system inside. I have actually created a humidor with a Boveda system for ST DuPont.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're absolutely welcome.
That's amazing.
You guys are the best for that in what you do. So
Thank
I'm
you so
honored to be
much.
teaming up and partnering with you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I mean, we couldn't have picked a more beautiful humidor to put our system in. I mean, it's just amazing what you're doing and making great products for people to enjoy.
Thank you so very much.
Thanks.
I'm very honored to work with you guys.
Thank you. Check out more videos, and thank you for tuning in. 2018 IPCPR.